away, for the love of God.
Yeah?
Yeah, put your dick away, Craig.
Mufasa the racist?
Didn't James Earl Jones play Mufasa?
Okay, fine. Then you mean Mufasa the speciesist? Think about the circle of life speech that he does. As king, we must respect all animals from the ant to the antelope. And Simba's like, but don't we eat the antelope?
When we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelope eat the grass.
Yeah, circle of life. We are all our eats and poops.
Not a lot of animals between ant and antelope.
Except the hyenas. Mufasa banished them to die in the elephant graveyard for no clear reason. We're all connected, Simba. Except those guys. F those guys. I hate those guys. Get out of here, guys. Boo hyenas. Hyenas didn't land on Pride Rock landed on hyenas.
We don't know. I mean, they could have committed some crime. Oh, shit, now I sound racist.
Do you have time to talk about David Bowie's dick?
You have only 13 hours.
Okay, so Labyrinth is a movie about Jennifer Connelly having to save her younger brother from Muppets, all while learning the power of responsibility, right?
Sure. If you say so, man.
No, that's wrong, you idiot. I submit that the entire movie is about one thing: a teenage girl losing her virginity to her own mind.
Talk about David Bowie's dick.
First, you have to understand that the entire movie Labyrinth is a metaphor for all the complexities and confusions of a young girl in her first foray into sexual fantasy. Gen Con, she starts the movie out in a park playing pretend, which, frankly, she's a little too old for. And her mom even says,
You should have dates at your age.
Did you just pause for me to remember a clip from a movie I haven't seen? No, change my mind. 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes. Talk about David Bowie.
Okay, weird that you would choose those specific times. Now, Gen Con tells her younger brother, a baby brother, the representation of her own innocence, I hate you. I wish someone would come and take you away. Then when her dad and her stepmom go out to dinner, Jennifer Connelly is left alone. And what does she do? She goes on a little fantasy exploration in her own mind. And she thinks, I wonder what it would be like if someone did actually come and take my innocence. I bet it would go a little something like this.
Enter Muppets, huh?
Enter everything in her room. She's been so mired in this one childhood fantasy that that's her only entry point. She enters this mental maze with all of her stuffed animals there, and waiting for her at the middle, a big old dick attached to David Bowie.
No, I don't buy it. There's no way they would put all that in a kid's movie. The Bowie dick was probably just an unfortunate, fortunate costume choice.
Oh, really? The first person that she meets in the labyrinth is Hoggle. And Hoggle's job is to spray naked female fairies with a phallic tool. And when she meets him, he's peeing. He's got his dick out. She's just sexualizing the usual cast of fantasy characters from her childhood. She's trying to figure it out. She's just looking for some sort of understanding. Baby steps for Connelly.
But she never actually has sex.
Except she does. I mean, not literally, but she goes through all of the experiences that lead to sex. She falls into the hole with all of the hands touching her. The taboo and dirtiness of the bog of eternal stench. Jared gives her that fruit, the plump, nice, like, peach, the sexual reproductive organ of the tree, and she bites into it and she's transported to this weird masquerade orgy where everyone's caressing each other and dancing and hand jobbing each other's noses.
Standard sex stuff.
Yeah, if you're a confused kid, absolutely. And so Dancing Dave, he finds her and she seems to sort of enjoy being found, and then they dance. Real slow at first, and then a little bit faster, and then crashing glass, a feeling of weightlessness, and she wakes up in a pile of trash. She looks at the peach in her hand, and now it's just a moldy piece of fruit with a worm in it. So she throws it away because she's disgusted with it. And she's disgusted with herself. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just feeling so sorry for your future potential daughters. Do you really feel like female sexual exploration ends with self-loathing and disgust?
Yeah. Doesn't it? It does for me.
In the Sky Chase Zone, apart from awesome music, Sonic and Tails are on an airplane fighting robots. But what's inside those robots?
Tell us!
Not little flying creatures, little regular creatures.
He's not freeing birds?
I don't know if freeing is the right word for dropping an animal to its certain death.
So hit me with it then. How is Atreyu like the Buddha?
Actually, the main character in the book is the normal human boy, Bastian Balthazar Bucks.
Is that his name for real?
Mm-hmm.
Hell, that's dumb.
The point is that Bastian's the main character, and he goes to Fantagian, a world that is fantasy made up of the imaginations of readers worldwide.
So Bastian is the Buddha.
No one is the Buddha, okay? Bastian represents the typical human lost in a struggle of madness and delusion and destined for a downward spiral of suffering, pain, and despair.
You and me, like the everyman.
Buddhism is about enlightenment, and enlightenment is about attaining on a gut level the understanding that everything in and life is temporary, and therefore not to be a subject of suffering.
I'm just kidding, I'm not taking notes.
Or ruin what is perhaps the most endearing Christmas movie of all time.
Oh, do it. Ruin it. That one.
A Christmas Story.
He didn't do it. I mean, it's not ruined just because he said it.
It's all based on one simple idea. The voice narrating A Christmas Story is not a child, it's an adult.
There I am, with that dumb round face and that stupid stocking cap.
This implies that we're not getting insight into a child's mind in real time, but rather an adult reminiscing about childhood and sharing his thoughts with us. Agreed?
Obviously. Fine. It's always so difficult with you.
Okay. This means that this adult, the guy this kid became, is choosing these stories to show us, these particular memories. Quick rundown. Asked his parents for his dream gift, and they say no because you'll shoot your eye out. Tried really hard in school on a paper that he actually cared about, got a C-. That Dakota ring he's saved for turned out to be a scam. He finally snaps and beats the frozen shit out of the town bully. He meets Santa, who it turns out is an abusive dick. When his parents finally give him that gift he wants, he almost immediately shoots himself in the face, proving what everyone has been trying to tell him this whole time. In this world, what you want is denied you, and if you get what you want, pain inevitably follows.
Tired of just sitting around waiting for death to claim you? Then get productive with the Breaking Bad Home Chemistry Kit. Just follow the simple instructions on the back of your wacky Walter White playing card. Perfect for discreet kids of any age. The kit lets you recreate the fun of Breaking Bad with just a few extra items for your local market. Make a foaming volcano, ooey gooey bathtub sludge, or rock candy. Whoop! Not so fast, junior scientist. Looks like you got a faulty batch. If your rock candy comes out blue, just text PDGR to the number at the bottom of the screen, and we'll send over a buddy of ours to help.
And that happens to Peter Pan. Not even he is safe from the ravages of time. And he was the coolest kid of them all.
Point of order. He wears tights.
The point of the two movies is, we were wrong. Growing up sucks. Don't do it. Stay a kid forever, even if it's in your own mind. Which, by the way, is pretty much the thesis of every Robin Williams movie ever made. Patch Adams, Jumanji, Mrs. Doubtfire. Every single one of those movies, he deliberately solves his problems by not growing up. He sure...
Agent Banks, Hillary Duff, kills this guy with a nanobot that eats him from the inside out. And her face, what's happening, is just like, just a smile and dead eyes. It's haunting.
Guess Who? Recently, I found myself running a Google image search of Bernard from Guess Who because I wanted to prove that the sad, aggressively Russian-looking board game character bared a striking resemblance to celebrated British actor-comedian Stephen Fry. Google didn't have an image that was clear enough to support my point, so I went out and bought a copy of the game because doctors think I have a rare form of sociopathy that makes me value obscure pop culture artifacts more than interactions with people. As it turns out, new versions of Guess Who come with updated characters, so the modern Bernard is no longer the clinically depressed, undeniably Stephen Fry-esque character that I remember from the 90s. In fact, he's lost anything that makes him seem even vaguely foreign at all. They even got rid of his cold winter fez and replaced it with just a boring, casual white guy hat. This made me wonder what else was different about Guess New. So I dug a little bit deeper and recalled the character of Anne from my youth. It was always a drag to pick Anne, not because I was racist as a kid or as a semi-adult now, but because if my opponent said, "Is your character anything other than white?" I was out of the game. Imagine my surprise then when I found out a few decades later that Guess Who replaced the only non-white character in the game with this. Guess Who? More like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and actually, no, more like Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner, because the movie had at least one black person, and the game doesn't have any. Times two. Look at Chris Cobb. He is an astoundingly bad cop. That serial-stealing crook gets out all the goddamn time. Like I wouldn't even want to go to him.
Or maybe he knows he can't go to the authorities.
Well, the authorities are our friends.
If someone was stealing your crack, would you really go to the cops about it?
I don't do crack. And no,
I would kill them as a symbol to the others.
Okay, maybe not crack, but I'll bet little Soren would do quite a bit to get his hands on a big bag of marshmallow mateys.
Did you just reference a regional brand of bagged cereal?
Cereal comes in bags?
My point is, they know that shit's more than 50% sugar. They know they can't win the vitamin and minerals war, so they sling it as drugs instead. Okay, Tony the Tiger. Way into sports and super huge, even for a jungle cat. Plus his balls are so small, they're invisible. Kids have one bite of a cereal, they're popping off home runs in Little League. I couldn't get it past second base in Little League.
You'd think if Tony was a Reuter, he'd maul more children.
Sonny and Cocoa Puffs? Anyone so much as mentions the name, and the guy blows roofs off of houses. It's basically just meth and milk.
Honey Smacks.
Unapologetic. It's in the goddamn name.
In the world of sugar cereal, you're either a pusher like Tony, user like Lucky, or strung out junkie like the Trix Rabbit looking for your next fix.
Frankenberry and Count Chocula are the saddest users ever. They spend all their time trying to steal each other's guests, and all they really want is someone to eat their cereal with.
Got milk? Well, do you? Do you have milk? Because I will suck your dicks for milk.
Pokemon! Gotta catch 'em!
No, thank you. Don't test our friendship.
Ah, you're just jealous because of my dope Pokemon whatever. What do they call them? I mean, I know it's a Pokeball, but does it... Oh. Well, I bet you don't have as many rare Pokemon
Epic
as...
Shiny Tepig.
What?
In my house.
How? How?
First time, I daisy-chained 4 Game Boys together and played for 72 hours straight, missing my brother's wedding.
I understand and respect that.
But if you're into Pokemon, the ultimate challenge is to have a deconstruction off.
Oh, what? So I get like 30 points for saying it's analogous to dogfighting, that kind of thing?
No, because you can only use ones that I haven't heard like a million times already. And then I do one. Standard Boggle rules.
I don't know Boggle rules.
Well, you do now. It's the thing I just said. Look, I'll go. You notice how fucked up it is that all the Pokemon are just named the same thing that they are? Like every Pikachu in the world, except 1 or 2, is named Pikachu. If your Dig Trio dies, get another Dig Trio, name it Dig Trio. It's like if every human named their pets dog and iguana. These trainers clearly have no emotional connection to these scores of animals that they're supposed to be overseeing. It's Blackfish up in this shit.
So what about when you defeat a wild Pokemon but you don't capture it? You just leave it passed out, right?
Uh-huh.
You can't do that. You can't just leave a forest creature unconscious in the woods. That Pokemon is dead meat, man. I bet you make like 10,000 Pokemon orphans every time you play through one of those games.
Yeah.
Your favorite G.I. Joe?
Snake Eyes.
Favorite X-Man?
Wolverine.
Power Ranger?
Green, then white after season 2.
Always the same, but the turtles are unique, because everybody picks a different favorite.
Ooh, Gberti.
No, but I admire your persistence. It didn't matter which one was coolest or which one you wanted to be like, you picked the turtle that was like you. Soren, you like Leonardo because he's honor-bound and loyal.
We've got to save him from his own destructiveness.
I like Michelangelo because he's reckless. Hilarious. And Dan, you like Donatello because he's a nerd and he's open to sexual electronics.
First of all, does machines isn't literal. Second of all, it was a foot massager that I got for my birthday, and I told you all of that 1,000 times.
And not one of us ever asked.
The foot massager.
Bitches.
And pedophilia is cool.
Pedophilia is cool. Wilbert, 2014.
No, in Peter Pan. It's just a pedophile slash fic that society agreed to turn into a family classic anyway.
Go on.
You can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. J.M. Barrie, the Peter Pan guy. Do you guys know anything about him?
I do. He's Johnny Depp.
No, that's just Hollywood's version. You should take a look at the dude's Wikipedia. It reads like the beginning of Hard Candy.
That's a movie. You don't read movies.
Shut up! You know nothing about me!
He is not a whimsical, genderless pixie. He's a perv.
And a mistranslated perv at that. You know how in the movies, they're like, oh, to get to Neverland, just second star on the right, straight on till morning. That's, in the books, that's like nautically. That's how they use stars for directions. They're like, fly that way. They didn't mean fly literally into space. See, I know stuff about stuff. Just not the pedophile thing.
Wait, so in the book, Neverland is a place on Earth, like an island, and there are already Native Americans living there, and then flying European kids and pirates just come inhabit the island? F***ing A, man. Can the tribes find peace nowhere?
See, there you go. And this is the story that we keep remaking and shoving down our kids' throats.
Okay, we get it. You want to talk about pedophilia. Can someone please
Barry's
change
brother was his mom's favorite, but he died when they were ice skating when they were kids. So Barry's mom made him dress up like his brother and act like he was him. Barry said she loved his brother more because he remained forever a child.
All of this changes nothing about the fact that I am scared of old people, and I would prefer not to slowly turn into one like the shittiest Animorph. That's why I like Peter Pan. You're not gonna scare me away from this one.
Hey, did you know that the kids in Peter Pan are based on real kids that Barry knew? This random family, the Davies, he met them in a park. And this was, meanwhile, while he's married to a woman who said that he never once tried to have sex with her in their entire lives.
That's not so weird. It's Victorian times. Probably no one was having sex. They probably used a crankable turkey baster to transfer the materials.
Is there a place where they still do that I can get to? Which star?
Anyway.
Do you know how Mozart's a big deal because he composed piano pieces at age 4? Yeah, apparently that's not that hard because here's about a dozen kids doing it right now. There's this kid. This guy. Don't even get me started on this kid. This one's blind. Hey, Mozart's dad. Guess you could have hit him a little harder after all, huh? Craig.
Yeah, what's up?
You did the Little Mermaid box art, yeah?
Yes, I did. Is there a problem with it?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, the castle. Yeah, the perspective might be a little off because it's a sand castle.
It's an underwater dick made of underwater dick sand. It's a dick. It looks like a dick.
No.
Balls, Craig. Jizz. Shooting through a pearly underwater penis.
This is a joke, right? Because this doesn't look anything like a dick.
Have you seen a man's penis, Craig? In your travels throughout your life, have you ever seen a man's
I can't
penis?
believe this is... Yes, I have seen a man's dick in my life. Not a lot. I don't know if that's part of what you want me to be doing around here now.
Take your dick out, Craig.
I'm not going to do that.
You're gonna do it because you work for Disney. And when you work for Disney and they ask you to take your dick out, you do it. Take your dick out, Craig.
This day took a turn. Pick up my daughter at soccer at 3, so if we could...
Holy man!
Oh, that's not... Come on. Everyone's different.
It looks like Cthulhu. Were you in an accident?
No, that's Ursula. Where do you think I got the reference?
All right, well, put it away, for the love of God.
Yeah?
Yeah, put your dick away, Craig.
There are 2 things we know for sure in the Little Mermaid universe. Fish are sentient beings with emotions and personalities and friendships and dreams, and Eric is the seafaring prince of a coastal kingdom. Flounder was Ariel's best friend, and I'm gonna assume that Prince Eric caught and ate his fair share of flounder, unless this is one of those coastal kingdoms that doesn't consume fish, which, computer, yeah, those don't exist. The people who lived in that village, or town, or kingdom, or principality most likely make their living fishing and trading. We already know that Prince Eric employed a chef who took personal, almost sexual joy in killing and cooking sea creatures.
First I cut off their heads and I pull out their bones.
What are you gonna serve at your wedding, Eric? Fish? Be weird if you didn't. Or maybe, out of love, Eric will outlaw fishing as a trade. But then, hey, guess what, guy? If you do that, you just put a whole lot of your subjects out of work. His options are ruin the fishing trade that guaranteed provides the livelihood of a number of his people, or get his new child bride on board with the fact that she might eat a bunch of her friends at some point. These are issues that would have come up during the dating process that never happened because Ariel and Eric decided to get married after 3 days during which no conversations actually took place. That's just true of how dating works. There's a woman I'm seeing now, and early on, like second date, I was like, before we take this further, you're not killing and eating any of my friends, right? And she was like, I can't know that, but probably not. She's pretty cool.
Braceface is an early 2000s Canadian cartoon about a junior high school student with braces trying to deal with your typical challenges of teenage life. Also, her name was Sharon Spitz, a play on sharing spit, because when I watch a show about 14-year-olds, I want to constantly be thinking about them making out. So in the season 3 episode Busted, Sharon is angry at everyone assuming she's 13 instead of 14.
When they get that old, they can't tell the difference between 13 and 14.
Oh, crap.
And blames her underdeveloped breasts. Jesse looks up cautiously.
What are you doing?
So Sharon does what any girl her age would do if she was written by people who've had their computers seized by the FBI on more than one occasion. She buys a sci-fi pump-up bra, the Enhancer 3000, which the sales lady is absolutely giddy to sell her. What happens next on the episode hopefully resulted in some kind of police investigation of the show's producers. With her artificially enhanced breasts, Sharon gains confidence, a date, and a whole gaggle of freaks, including her damn stepbrother, ogling her chest without any shame or a well-deserved kick to the nuts. Unfortunately, Sharon's boob remote gets damaged and her bra starts to expand uncontrollably until one of the cups explodes, probably giving at least 2 people around her a disturbing new fetish. The episode ends like it started, ickily, with Sharon kind of, sort of flirting with her non-blood related stepbrother.
Hey, Sharon.
Still gross, but better than focusing on a 14-year-old's breasts. So, we'll take it.
What is Slorm?
Slorp is ewy. Slorp is oogie.
Slorp is disgusting.
Slorm's a mess of messy fun. Slorm. Yeah. Florbs are here!
Florbs are weird. Florbs are burpy.
Florbs are not appropriate.
Florbs are bouncy.
Sunset, I wander through the village, glowing in the twilight and so quiet. Well, it's quiet 'cause most people died of a plague caused by jealous witches. I wander through the village and I think that my life is missing something dear. As I stop to rest and cough up blood, I wonder, when will I find my prince? I wander through the village and I notice that everyone but me has found a love. There goes the blacksmith with his daughter-wife, 10 years old and pregnant with her brother's son. I wander through the village sighing deeply, seeking guidance from the statue in the square. It's a statue of Christ adorned with thief hands. Oh, when will I find my prince? Oh, look, everyone, it's my friends from the forest, the Jews. Hello, Jews. You know, I never did ask you, why do you live in the forest? Oh, I see, to hide from people trying to kill you. Well, that's very resourceful, my piggy little friends. Tell me, have you ever had a dream that you thought wouldn't come true? Oh, I see, your dream is that people won't want to kill you. Well, that's definitely a dream that won't come true. Oh, well, goodbye, goodbye. Jews. If I found my prince, we'd have a wedding elegant and rare. We'd dine on kidney cream and horse vagina, drink champagne and torture a bear. Oh, if I found my prince, the castle would be filled with love and laughter. And he'd fill me with his seed, forcibly and rough. I'd give birth to a son and then die right after. The village seeking answers, but love hasn't given me a glimpse. It isn't in this shop or in this cart of baby corpses. Oh, when will I find my prince? When, hand Jesus? Oh, when will I find my prince?
Look at me, you okay? You gonna be professional? You gonna be a man? Give me one of these. Do that. Yeah, alright, no, we're good.
Welcome to my Gooey Creature Science Lab, where I give my gooey creatures their gruesome features.
They're the spookiest. They're the gooeyest.
Slurm. The grossiest. To grow your own gooey creature, simply remove it from frozen packaging and place it in warm water. Then listen for the crackling sound. Keep your ear up to it for at least 30 seconds until after the crackling starts. What?
Mary Poppins always has a few tricks up her sleeve to soothe a crying child. Whenever a child is fussy and starts to cry and moan, there's no need for a bottle, I've a secret of my own. wake up the baby, and then you fly away.
Adults made those movies and TV shows. Why would adults train us to hate adults?
It was a warning.
What?
What is the message of all of those movies? That you should embrace your childhood, don't grow up too fast, that even every adult could stand to be a little less adult-like.
I haven't always paid enough attention to my kids. I pushed them too hard.
What did I tell you about this window? Always keep it open! Oh!
I know we made mistakes, Ned. I made most of them. I don't think they would have done any of this if we hadn't done something right.
You messed up big time. Anyway, I brought you something.
They were telling us that, being an adult sucks. That adulthood is something to spit on and destroy.
That's why there are all these hipster colonies in Brooklyn where they make adults go to summer camp.
Or people who talk about how bad they are at adulting.
Or all these people who get so attached to these childhood movies that they can't let them go and just move on to the next step of their life. Being a responsible adult is a choice, and these movies make it sound like that choice is wrong and evil and not deserving of our respect.
And that we should stay children for as long as we can, or we risk becoming adults and being tortured for it.
Or worse, die.
I mean, we were all always going to die. That's not new.
Or worse, be murdered by youth. When we abandon our childhood, we're next on the kill list. Oh my God, am I destined to be killed by my son?
Yes, kill adulthood.